Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the backstory. If you are new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, there is a very interesting political development that is happening in the country. Today, AZIMIO leaders met for the first time after a very long period. And the last 3 days, that over the weekend, Musalia Mudavadi was in Siaya and Ndindi Nyoro was in Nyakach for a fundraiser or something like that. But the most interesting thing that happened was that Mudavadi, while in Siaya, hinted at a possible reunion or handshake between William Ruto and Raila Odinga.
Kwanza nataka muniangalie vizuri. Hivi karibuni we shall be surprising you with some very important news and pleasant. I will not say any more. Nawaachia hapo kwa sasa. But muniangalie vizuri kabisa. Si nimesema nikiwa hapa? Muniangalie vizuri. Nimesema kitu.
But now we are trying to look at the developments that happened today, whereby AZIMIO leaders met. Do you think that meeting was random or was it intentional? And why are they meeting just today after Musalia Mudavadi made that statement? Is it in preparation for the formation of Grand Coalition? Now, I want you to listen in or to watch the AZIMIO's presser. Then after that, we'll analyze and look at some of the latest political happenings and relate it to what happened today.
Okay, this was the first meeting of AZIMIO summit. AZIMIO is all here, except Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, who is out of the country. He's traveling to South Sudan today. That's why he's not here. There's been a lot of speculation. They made AZIMIO is splitting. AZIMIO is convening meetings which have not been held, and so on and so forth. That is all trash, media propaganda. So we have got a statement which is going to be read here by Honorable Eugene Wamalwa and Madam Martha Karua. Madam Martha Karua. Eugene.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the press. This is our statement from the AZIMIO Summit, and it's titled AZIMIO. The Summit, which is the top decision-making organ of AZIMIO La Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party, has held a meeting today under the chairmanship of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Being the first this year, the meeting focused on review of the previous year, briefing on the government of the previous year, briefing on the government's budget-making process, position on public interest litigation, and the way forward. In attendance, as you can see before you, apart from our leader, his deputy, the Honorable Martha Karua, yours truly, Honorable Mwangi Wairia, Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, Honorable Peter Munya, Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, Honorable Nderitu Muredi, Honorable Wajakoya, and Honorable Opio Wandae. Absent with apology was the Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who's currently in the Sudan for other engagements, but who spoke to our leader this morning and sent his apologies. And the meeting has gone on with his blessings, and his views have been incorporated in the resolutions that we'll be reading to you. lengthy deliberation, the summit resolved the following. AZIMIO remains satisfied with its activities that were able to focus on the excesses of the Kenya Kwanza regime that has made life miserable for the greater majority of Kenyans. Steadfastness, the cost of living as a government-induced pain is understood to be a direct result of Ruto's policies and not only global environment or previous regime. So this is purely Ruto's failed, and it should not be blamed on any global environment, or Uhuru Kenyatta's regime almost 2 years later. The coalition is satisfied with the work of standing up for Kenyans and commits to continue holding the regime to account and put blame where it belongs on areas like the ever-rising taxes, the deteriorating relationship with our neighbors, the rampant corruption in government, the tribalism in public service, the deterioration of the Kenya shilling, and general deterioration of our economy. And not the people of Kenya are to blame for these misfortunes, that have ended up hurting innocent Kenyans. AZIMIO deeply regrets the loss of lives during the peaceful protests, continues to hold the government responsible for these needless deaths in vain. The coalition has weathered several vigorous attempts by the Ruto administration to create disunity and splits in its ranks. Unity is an achievement the coalition will guard jealously to be able to fighting for Kenyans as one united front. Because the coalition has been able to stand up and stand together, Kenyans have regained their voice, their courage, and are standing up to the bullies in this regime. Kenyans are standing up in very remote parts of the country to tell off the government on its lies, and its insensitivity to the people. We encourage Kenyans to continue manifesting courage and call out this regime. We will stand with all Kenyans expressing such determination to take back our country. The coalition is happy and proud of the performance of its members of parliament on all critical national issues. When it has mattered, even where the members have been outnumbered, they have expressed themselves on such issues as the Finance Act 2023, and Kenyans will remember that there were 88 loyal members of AZIMIO who stood with them, and there were 176 who voted yes, and that is why they are suffering today. Kenyans will serve as AZIMIO legislators on the housing levy, on the deployment of the police to Haiti, and the general state of the economy. Over time, we have been vindicated. May I now invite my senior, the Honorable Martha Karua, to read the rest of the statement. Thank you very much.
The summit had a robust discussion on strengthening AZIMIO and its constituent parties. The coalition partners have been able to agree on fundamental strategies and we agreed that the coalition is only as strong as its constituent parties. The summit, therefore, reaffirmed its commitment to the renewal, strengthening of all the constituent parties through various activities, including members' recruitment drives, delegates' conferences, PGs and NEC meetings. All constituent parties have committed to pursuing a coalition that addresses the challenges the country is going through, and the challenges the country is going through, and that also help to advance and defend the gains of democracy. AZIMIO remains one and is here to stay, committed to shared values that include accountability, public participation, good governance, respect for the Constitution and rule of law, social justice, and non-discrimination. On public litigation, the summit that the cases coming up under public interest litigation address fundamental concerns in which Kenyans feel overlooked, mistreated, and ignored by a regime steeped in impunity. Some of the cases include the Jubilee Party case and the ruling by the Speaker of the National Assembly forming multiple parliamentary groups within this particular political party. This is a real threat to the foundations of our attempts to create a strong multi-party democracy. It threatens to return Kenya to a single-party era. The housing levy is a threat to livelihoods. The plan to unilaterally sell public assets without the participation of the owners, who are the people of Kenya. We will stand in solidarity with the petitioners in the public interest litigation cases on these issues. AZIMIO stands for the rule of law and supports the need for an independent and professional judiciary. Subsequently, we demand that the Kenya Kwanza regime must keep its hands off the judiciary. We take note expressed by the United States government for the Ruto regime to appeal against the ruling on the deployment of police to Haiti. It is our hope this shall respect the independence of the judiciary and that foreign interests will keep off our national affairs. AZIMIO remains on the way forward. AZIMIO remains extremely disturbed by the worsening cost of living, the the collapsing national currency, the chaos in the education sector, the tribalism in public service, and the return of mega corruption. The summit has committed to seek other ways and means to press the regime to listen to the cries of the people. The litigation will only be one such avenue. Other ways are being worked on, whose ultimate goal is to force the regime to be sensitive to the tribute and to enable the people to take such steps as they may deem necessary, remembering that they have the residual power and sovereignty for the people to be able to rid themselves of this yoke regime. Just like the donkey spoke to Balaam in the Bible, the donkey is now telling Zacchaeus, enough is enough. We thank you.
Thank you very much.
Asanteni sana.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've listened to or watched the AZIMIO presser, some of the key issues that they have talked about is matters to do with the high cost of living, the ruling which was made about the housing fund, and they've given a way forward. They've also talked about the absence of Kalonzo Musyoka, who is somewhere in Sudan, according to what they have said. And some of the key issues that have come out on their way forward is the fact that AZIMIO has said they are going to remain together as a team, and then that they are going to pursue, or they are going to remain steadfast by looking at some of the extremely disturbing issues like the worsening cost of living, the ever-rising and reckless taxes, the collapsing national currency, and the chaos in the education sector, tribalism in the public service, and the return of mega corruption in the Kenya Kwanza administration. And another issue that they've also talked about is that the summit is committed to seeking other ways to press the government to listen to the cries of the people. One of the issues that one of the ways in which they've talked about that they're going to use to press the government is litigation, which is taking the government to court whenever there are issues that are affecting Kenyans and they feel that those issues are going against the constitution. But another issue that has come out is that there are other ways that are being looked at whose ultimate aim is to force the regime to be sensitive to the tribulation of the people, or to enable the people to take such steps as they may deem necessary for the people to rid themselves of this yoke and this regime. Just like the donkey spoke to Balaam in the Bible, the donkey is now telling Zakayo that enough is enough. So my question is, are we going back to maandamano, or is AZIMIO coming back together in readiness for a grand coalition government? But if we are to go the grand coalition government, what do you think? Do you think it's the best strategy for this country? Will the formation of the grand coalition government give confidence to investors to come back into the country? Will it give William Ruto an opportunity to tap into some of the expertise that the former regime has? Because if you look there, we have the likes of Kimunya and other leaders that worked under the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. So will it give William Ruto an opportunity to tap into the expertise that these people bring on board? And do you think that will transform this country? So if you look at keenly, you see that AZIMIO leaders, just as I've told you, have come for this meeting for the first time. So there could be something which is cooking that maybe in the next 1 or 2 months might kind of surprise them. Because I think William Ruto has looked at this cabinet and is seeing like these are guys who are not helping him solve some of the issues that are affecting Kenyans. Because if you look at William Ruto's cabinet, Kenyans have been complaining about the caliber of cabinet secretaries that he put into his cabinet. William Ruto himself has also been mentioned talking about him being more knowledgeable about some of the ministries more than the cabinet secretaries. So it tells us that some of these cabinet secretaries are not knowledgeable and they are kind of underperforming. So if that is the case, is William Ruto coming to terms with the fact that he needs support so as to govern this country? So I just want to get your feedback on this. If you think that do you think that AZIMIO leaders are preparing for maandamano, or is it a coalition, or were they meeting in preparation for the formation of a grand coalition or a government of national unity that will unite Kenyans? Because as we are right now, we are in a position whereby we need unity more than division in the country, because our unity as a people will make us rise back to where we were as a country. So I just want to get your feedback. If you have any information or any feedback that you want to give us, you can comment on the video down below and share it with us so we can take this conversation up online. That is all from us, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, bye-bye.